Hi there, I'm Michael Lyons with Daily Xtra, and I'm here at the AGO at Michelangelo Quest for Genius.
Thank you for being here for Michelangelo Quest for Genius, a pretty extraordinary exhibition of 30 of Michelangelo's most wonderful and important works on paper.
You know, I think visitors, tourists are very familiar with some of the key works of Michelangelo, Sistine Chapel ceiling, the marble statue of David. But what they're not very aware of, as I certainly was not, is in a sense, the anxieties, the struggles, and the disappointments that really lie behind the creative process. So that was a revelation that somebody as remarkable, a kind of genius like Michelangelo could be as, in a sense, normal as the rest of us.
What did you learn about Michelangelo's relationships?
Well, first of all, his sexuality is extremely elusive, very hard to pin down, and yet there is no debate around one particular attraction that dominated Michelangelo's life. And it happened when he was 57, and he encountered one assumes maybe a 17 or 18-year-old who in many ways was everything that Michelangelo was not. He was incredibly well educated, classical kind of education. He was very handsome, well connected. He was a Roman aristocrat. This Tommaso de Cavalieri was kind of everything that Michelangelo wasn't. And the evidence very clearly in the poetry is that Michelangelo fell deeply in love with him, and yet it seems to be the general consensus that their relationship was platonic, as tortured as that might have been for Michelangelo. It just added to the pain and suffering that he experienced every day anyway. But that relationship was hugely important in Michelangelo's life. It went on until the day he died. So Tommaso was at Michelangelo's deathbed, and of course, what a privilege it was to know and be connected with this remarkable man.
What are some of the ways that his work speaks to desire? Because you see these just kind of, especially with, you think of David's, this kind of beautiful nude statue, and then like gorgeous, just nude sketches. What are some of the ways that he drew desire into his work?
Well, I suppose I've not done this, but if you did a statistical analysis of all of the human bodies that Michelangelo drew or painted or sculpted, there would be no question that the dominant subject would be the male. And what Michelangelo is credited as doing, essentially, is to kind of consolidate the place of the male nude as an important subject in Western art. And he believed that the male nude should be shown in action, and that he could use it to talk about all those things that mattered most to him, and that would be his sort of everyday life and his spiritual life. Right? Suddenly, this great muscular male form could tell stories that were important to him and important to his contemporaries, and as it turns out, important to posterity.
And why would you think some historians are kind of uncomfortable with pegging Michelangelo as this or that, or why does his attractions remain elusive?
Well, I think it's going to take one person, and I hope very soon, to begin to lay out all the evidence of his sexuality and to speculate on that evidence. And some have, there's no question about it. And there does seem to be a general consensus that he was a homosexual man, but nobody really knows how that played out. Some suggest that he was completely celibate for his whole life, and that's awfully hard to believe. When you imagine a man in the presence of young naked bodies around his studio who were his models, so the mystery remains for sure.
Well, thank you so much, David. I really, really appreciate it, and you have an absolutely beautiful exhibit.
Thanks. Thank you.